Hello and welcome back tuning into this morning's video. It's Monday at GavsWeatherVids.com, which means only one thing, it's Europe Day. Every Monday at GavsWeatherVids.com we have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. Now, before I get on with the European outlook, just want to say about website using for the video. It's westcentral.de, find a link to it on my links page. So things are now much more autumnal across many parts of Europe. Cooler air has dug in. It's unsettled out in the west. We've still got high pressure sitting up to the northeast. But it's cooler just about everywhere, even into central east parts of Europe. The temperatures are just down into the low teens, even in single figures in some northeastern parts of Europe. Now, I think we're going to get another push of very warm air through the course of this week, actually, across central parts of Europe in particular. But out in the west, you're going to stay very unsettled, but I don't think the warmth really will extend into the west, though temperature will probably pick up a little bit through France and the British Isles and Ireland, but it's really for central areas that I think going to push those temperatures up. Let's have a look at all the detail anyway, and here we go for today. I've got this area of low pressure out in the Atlantic, spreading in unsettled weather into western and northwest. This big ridge of high pressure that has kept it very settled across many parts of Europe through September has receded away now up towards western parts of Russia and Finland. I mean, through the Mediterranean, pressure is quite weak, although we haven't got too many thunderstorms breaking out just at the moment. Upper air temperature showed it is pretty cool, really, particularly through northern and northeastern parts of Europe. Also, cool air coming into the west. The warmth has generally been pushed down into the Mediterranean. It's turned cooler across many parts. Still pretty hot, though, actually, or warm anyway, through the Med. Rainfall forecast today shows that we've got this very unsettled weather out to the northwest, so heavy rain will be sweeping across the British Isles through the course of today. Also, many parts of France getting some outbreaks of rain and quite strong winds as well. That will be rattling on in towards Denmark and the Low Countries and western Germany by tonight. That ridge of high pressure keeping many central, northern and northeastern parts mainly dry. And then coming through the Mediterranean, the west is largely dry. One or two friendly showers possible, perhaps around Minorca or Mallorca. But many parts of Spain and Portugal largely dry, away from this band of rain coming into the far north of Spain and Portugal. Much of the western part of the Mediterranean largely dry. But from Italy eastwards, we've got heavy showers and thunderstorms, particularly extending down into towards Greece and also through parts of Romania as well. Temperatures today are a lot cooler than they have been. Still just about getting up to around 17 or 18 degrees across Germany, but generally it's cool out in the west with all that wind and rain, and of course very cool under that high pressure up to the northeast. Temperatures for the far northeast of Europe are not getting into double figures. Moving through towards the middle of the week, it's still very unsettled out to the northwest, if this area of low pressure bringing in showers to Ireland, United Kingdom and northern parts of France. But notice that we begin to pull in southerly winds into these central areas, so we begin to pull warmth out of the Mediterranean again through central and eastern parts of Europe. You can see this on the upper air temperatures that the warmth is beginning to spread up out of Spain and Portugal and at North Africa, spreading into these central countries. It's still pretty cool up to the northeast, it's still cool under that area of low pressure out to the northwest. So we've got lots of showers and longer spells of rain here in the northwest through the middle of the week. Ireland, Britain, France, down into northern parts of Spain and through much of Portugal as well. Getting heavy rain, thunderstorms in places as well, and heavy showers too. The shower may merge into longer bands of rain, but also extending towards the Low Countries, Denmark, western parts of Germany, and also going up into Scandinavia through Sweden, Norway, and Finland. I think we could see some heavy showers up there. Largely dry through much of the Mediterranean away from Portugal. Actually, much of Med dry through the middle of the week. It's also turning drier down across Greece as well, and it's still mainly dry up in the east, northeast of Europe. Temperatures are lifting up through the middle of the week. We're beginning to see those temperatures. Well, for some parts of Spain, this indicates temperatures maybe at 27. Some parts of France, I should say, in northern Spain, this indicating temperatures possibly going up to around 27 degrees. That's 81 Fahrenheit. We'll begin to extend in towards Germany and some central parts of Europe as well. Still pretty cool up in the northeast. Cool with all that wind and rain out to the northwest. Now moving through towards the end of the week, well, we're still bringing up that southerly flow through many central and eastern parts of Europe, so the warmth is pushing up out of the Med, but it's a very unsettled scene out in the northwest. This area of low pressure off the coast of Portugal will need keeping an eye on for France, Ireland and the United Kingdom as we get through towards Friday next weekend, because we're some very, very wet weather indeed into the northwest. But look at the upper air temperatures really pushing up again through many parts of Europe as we're going through in towards the end of the week, although cold air is trying to dig in towards western parts of Russia. That actually looks a little bit wintry up there, and it's still relatively cool through Scandinavia and much of Ireland and Britain as well. So we've got a band of rain through parts of France there, stretching through the Low Countries in towards Germany. Heavy rain up over Scandinavia. Then to the south and east of that, it is a mainly dry and very warm scene. We're bringing up that southerly flow. And there's the rain associated with that low pressure off the coast of Portugal around the Bay of Biscay that I was talking about a few minutes ago. That looks very, very significant, that rain, and that could be heading in to many parts of France and England and Wales by next weekend. We do need to keep an eye on this. The temperatures at the end of the week showed it's very warm there, particularly through southern parts of France, going up in towards Germany, on in towards Poland. Temperatures back up in towards, the low to mid-20s, 23, 24, 25. Certainly looks achievable through the middle part of and the latter part of the week. Now finally getting through in towards next weekend, that ridge through those eastern areas are beginning to recede, so we're starting to lose that southerly flow somewhat, but it's still pretty warm actually through many central and east areas. It's turning more unsettled up in the west of the northwest though. Low pressure very much in control. This low pressure here across England is the very deep low that's come out of the Bay of Biscay, and no doubt brought a lot of heavy rain if that comes off. Notice northerly winds extending into Scandinavia. That could be a bit of a wind starting to get into there. So the upper air temperatures show that the warmth is beginning to recede in towards the southeast of Europe as we get through to next weekend, as cooler air starts to dig back in from the west and the northwest. Heavy rain across much of northern and western Europe next weekend, so England particularly the focus of bad England and Wales, going through the North Sea in towards Denmark and maybe the Low Countries, Germany as well. Also much of France having heavy showers or thunderstorms that may extend down in towards Spain as well. So very unsettled scene next weekend in west of Europe. The driest weather will be in the east and the southeast, and this rain up here, or this precipitation I should say up here across the far north of Scandinavia, could be turning a little bit wintry, I would think, by weekend. Excuse me. The temperature is still very warm through most central, eastern and southeast areas, but notice this cool air really digging in up to the northwest, and that'll be gradually pushing southwards with time into perhaps many parts of Europe by the time we get through into the third week of October, or into the middle of the month. So in summary, it's a very unsettled scene in west and northwest. There's going to be showers, longer spells of rain. Many other areas having quite a settled week actually this week, and turning warmer again after a cooler start. I think we'll see temperatures lifting up through many central and eastern and southern parts of Europe through the week, but warm pushing back from the Med for a time, but maybe cooling off again by next weekend. Very wet in the west and the northwest of Europe this week. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.